Hello and welcome. I'm Jenny Hall. Thanks for joining me today. My video is part of the Save the Crafty YouTubers video hop. Because YouTube has changed or is changing their regulations, they want more views and more subscribers for each video channel. Then it's very important for all of the crafty community to come together and support one another. Thanks to Justine for putting this video hop together. My video today is sponsored by Catherine Pooler and Simon Says Stamp. So muchas gracias to my sponsors. I'm featuring the no-line watercolor technique with the amazing You stamp set. This is one of my very favorite stamp sets from the Occasions catalog, and I like to feature this image in a many variety of colors. So for this project, I have chosen to do the no-line watercolor technique. I start off with a piece of watercolor paper, and I stamp it in a very light color that I want to not show through the stamped lines on the finished image. However, I always choose a color to stamp in that I want to see a highlight come through in my base image. So another way to describe this is I stamped in yellow because I want yellow highlights in my pink flower. So stamping in yellow is going to allow some of that yellow to create a little bit of a halo on my pink flower. It doesn't happen the same in every single colored image, and that's great because that way everything stays natural. This floral image has two different layers of petals, so the front larger petals are kept lighter and the second row of petals behind it are definitely colored into a much darker pink. The second image that I stamped is colored much more light. I'm going to feature one of the flowers in front of the other, kind of offset, and I want one to appear much darker than the other. Even that second row of petals is going to be a bit more light. To color in the middle part of the flower, I've used the same yellow that I stamped in, but I'm grabbing the more concentrated bits of color and just dabbing it on in little circles. Those little circle clusters are creating the middle area of the flower. So it appears to be a much more complicated painted image than it is. I'm keeping it as simple as possible to make it easier for my own success. I've used a scrap of the paper that I used for the floral image, and by turning it over and using a coordinating color of ink, then I'm just making my own watercolor wash that I'll use for making a die cut word. The Eclectic Layers Thinlits dies is wonderful, and I'll be using some white die cuts for that, but I've also used the Celebrate You Thinlits die set that is full of 3 different word dies. Word dies are a wonderful way to add the sentiment and also create a bit of interest. So I could have done this die cut out of plain colored cardstock, but by coloring and making a watercolor wash, it brings a little bit more interest to the eye, and it gives just a little something more special to my project. I'm going to feature a piece of white cardstock as my background, and by taking that same yellow ink, dropping a piece of the ink refill, I can splatter out just a very light splatter image on the background piece to separate all of the white space from these white die cuts. Is there a way that you like to feature some kind of background or splatters on your cards? I would love to hear in the comments what you do in your crafting. I'm offsetting these flowers And then I've also added the word die and attached it onto the flower with some mini glue dots. The inside of the card is kept very simple by using another image from the Amazing You stamp set in one of the same colors from the front of the card. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Keeping it simple is one way to get success. Thank you for watching my video. I honestly appreciate your support. To be placed in the random drawing for prizes, leave a comment on my video and click subscribe. The winners are chosen on February 26th, and the winner will be notified in the comment section, so make sure that you do leave a comment. Now it's time for you to click the video description and click on the link to get to the next video in this amazing hop. Also, for more information, visit my blog at jennystampsup.com. Thanks for joining me today. I'll see you next time.
Thanks for watching the video. Have a good day!